The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Can I tell you a story, Leigh-Ann, about coffee? Because the other day I went out for a meal, and it was getting late, sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and the chap I was with sort of said, do you fancy a coffee? I was like, it's a bit late for me, but I'll try it. I had a double espresso with him at sort of 10:30. I was awake all night. I didn't get any sleep whatsoever.
And did you have the jitters and you just felt terrible?
And I was sort of, my brain was going mad, and it was sort of like 2 a.m. I'm like really awake and all the rest of it. And normally I wouldn't drink coffee after about midday.
And this takes me to the point that we're talking about coffee and dating today.
We are.
And is a coffee date a good idea?
Well, I would have said it maybe is, because if you sort of think about it, you can go for a nice coffee, nice chat, no alcohol involved, it's all sort of nice and civil, and it seems the thing that a lot of people are doing these days.
We are the new generation of coffee date, there's no doubt about that. But what happens if you go on a coffee date at 7 p.m. at night, and, oh gosh, get my timing right.
You've had too much coffee.
I've had too much coffee this morning, and you can't sleep all night. That's not the perfect date, is it?
Like me.
Like you, Rod. You'll be up all night thinking about your date that you couldn't kiss because she had coffee breath and you're stuck at Starbucks or wherever you were. What a nightmare.
So, are you saying it's not a good idea to go on a date for a sort of coffee date? If somebody suggests that, steer away from it.
Well, there's 2 prongs to it. I don't think it's a good idea because, 1, the timing's never right. 2, you just meet up for a coffee date with your friends normally, so it sort of blurs the line. What is it? Is it a date? Is it just a meet-up? Are you judging the person? There's like a funny line. I don't know. If someone invites you for a drink or a dinner and it's a date and it's more official, you know where you're going. You know what, you can judge the situation. Where on a coffee date, I just don't feel like you can.
Have you been on a coffee date?
I'm sure I've been on loads.
And also, if you do go on a coffee date, so there's so many different varieties to choose from. You can go for an espresso or a cappuccino or whatever. The rule is cappuccino in the morning, espresso throughout the rest of the day. Is that right, as far as I know?
I just drink skinny lattes all day, but I imagine an espresso would wake you up, so that's a great rule. I haven't heard of that yet. But I would just say one thing. If you go on a date and you order an espresso, it's tiny. You should have it in one go. So you limit the time you've got on your date.
Yeah. Espresso, you're supposed to knock it straight back, aren't you?
Yeah. You just stand there, knock it back. What's that, a 5-minute date? In and out?
So you could turn up and just knock it back and say, thanks very much, you're not for me.
That was £4. It was cheap, I'm out.
See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's also another good thing about going on a coffee date. You've got a limited time that you can actually sit with that person. So if you hate them, you've got a get out clause.
But the advantage of a coffee date as well is exactly what you're saying, because on the first date, you don't want to be sat down with somebody for a 3-course meal, do you? Because basically, you might get there and think, oh, no, this is never going to work. So you don't want to be there for an hour and a half talking to somebody that you've got no future with. So you're trapped, aren't you? So you might as well go for a quick drink or a quick coffee.
I think drinks are better because you can get your beer goggles on, not your cappuccino goggles, and it just makes things so much easier, doesn't it? I don't know. But you can also judge somebody by the coffee that they order. That's what I think.
Okay.
So if you're going out with somebody on a coffee date and they order a skinny latte with soya milk with vanilla in it, extra hot, in a takeaway cup, you're going to think, no.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I order.
No, it's not. It's clearly triple espresso or whatever you're having.
Oh, really? So you judge people by their coffee as
I
well?
would do, yes, I would. And then you have to give your name, and then, I just think that why would you want to go and sit in a coffee shop where you've got unlimited Wi-Fi, donuts? It just seems to be, no.
You're not painting a very good picture. So what would be, final thing, what would be a good sort of man's coffee drink from your point of view? If somebody does go on a coffee date, what would you like them to order? What would, forget the skinny latte, what would you go for?
A black Americano.
Black Americano.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.